Welcome everybody to Choey and Jandler's the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. This is yet another rerun edition. I'm going to apologize for putting this out late. I was just being lazy. Can't really say anything else other than that. But it's the first week of February is down. We hit some cold weather here in San Antonio last week, and then this week got a little bit hotter. So kind of crazy how that weather keeps bouncing around for us. But let me go ahead and turn it over to the holidays real quick.
Here are today's effing holidays.
So the holidays today for February 7th, 2025. Did you know today is National Middle Name Pride Day? That's wrong. I'm sorry. That's March 7th. Oops. Gotta quickly. Somehow I was on the wrong holidays. So let me quickly turn it over to February 7th. That is a little embarrassing. It's National Bubblegum Day. I'm sorry. National Bubblegum Day here on February 7th. Chew your favorite bubblegum, practice your bubble blowing, and give back this Bubblegum Day. It's also National Send a Card to a Friend Day. Don't you get excited when you find a handwritten card or letter in your mail? And if so, then send one back on National Send a Card to a Friend Day. Very nice holiday, here on, in February. And then, one more here for February 7th. Here's a cool one. It's National Periodic Table Day. Pay tribute to the chart and science classrooms that saved us from flunking high school chemistry. Only on National Periodic Table Day. And I'll end on one more since I saw this and it's a food I like to eat. It's National Fettuccine Alfredo Day. Tastes delicious, maybe not the healthiest, but it's still awesome. It's so tasty that it deserves a day all to itself, and here it has one on February 7th. So those are the holidays, the correct holidays, not the March holidays that I just started to dive into. And I'm going to jump real quick to the headlines.
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's Headlines. Yay! Hooray!
Not a whole lot of headlines I get to add. This it doesn't take much for kids to kind of give me material and stuff. I'm kind of saving for him for when me and Choey get back live. What I will say though is two things. First off, a lot of sassy attitude going on. So any other teachers out there that are dealing with it across the country and the world, I apologize. I don't know if it's that time of year or what, but there's a lot of second grade girls just, seem to always have an attitude about something. And hopefully that goes away soon. Also, the pencil monster has been striking again. These kids. I found a tip and I want to use it to try and help out my class. But man, they go through pencils so fast, and it's just amazing. It's not hard to go buy pencils, but when you gotta give one student 3 or 4 days, 5 days a week, so that adds up, And it's just and then it's for me remembering to go get pencils or getting parents, hey, please send them back. But so yeah, the pencil monster is out there in effect. And then sit back and listen to this episode. And like I said, only a few more weeks, and we'll be right back with new live content leading into March Madness. By the way, if I didn't say it last episode, I want to say cheers out there. We got South Africa listening now. Holy cow! Now I forgot. Now I forgot who it was. We also got Portugal. I need to go look at this real quick because again, I feel like such an idiot to start talking and then I forget. That is not correct. Oh, Jamaica. We got Jamaica listening to us now. We got South Africa listening to us now, and we just were able to get Portugal listening. So again, cheers to all those people out there. Same for Ukraine. They're one of the newbies. We're now up to 20 total nations. The US plus 19. So I'm happy. Choey's happy. The hope is that obviously keep it going, and then everyone stay tuned for the new stuff that will keep coming out. Because we are working, as always, on new funny content and just writing stuff down. All right, guys. Enjoy the rerun. Thanks.
Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Choey and Jandler's, the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Jandler.
Welcome, Choey. The end of the week there, right?
Yep.
Speaking of that, pop.
So
Refresh.
I know you were talking about we got something cool coming up like here next episode.
Oh, you want to lead off with it? What are you talking? I'll
No,
listen.
I
I'm
just
following.
because I came up with it, I thought about this thing. I'm like, we got 99 shows,
Uh-huh.
but but a B ain't one kind of thing. Like I was like, oh, we got
You
a
know,
little like a Jay-Z reference.
we need to have that song. You feel like it, man. I wonder if we could put the thing if it's not like what do you call it?
Oh, I don't know,
Like like the license,
copyright or
like if
something
they,
like that.
yeah, copyright. If they don't like block it on yeah, but 99 problems, but a beer ain't one is what you're saying, huh?
Yeah. Dude, dude. So I liked the stuff that you said, by the way. Nobody in my house likes it. Like none
I
of
feel
them
like I
thought it was
said a lot
cool.
of stuff. You gotta remind. I said stuff all the time.
The songs you
Okay,
sent.
the hater
And I was
ants.
like, dude, I'm like serious, like that's awesome. I loved it. Like I thought it was funny as hell.
Well, I only sent you two of them, dude. I made like 20 plus. There's a lot of stuff that like I was going through. And maybe when we're downloading the episode, I can let you listen to a couple. That I was just like, nope. I listened to a couple seconds, like, nope, nope. But then me being, part of the reason that I do so many is not paying attention maybe as much the first time, and I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh, they didn't say this word. This would sound better here. You know what I mean? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, and then I'm trying to move like some of the lines and so whatnot, but I messed it up. But yeah, real quick, we'll jump into this 99th episode of us nearing that triple digits.
Here are today's effing holidays.
It's episode 12 for us in season 3, and it's November 8th. So some quick November 8 holidays, and my favorite website, which by the way I don't think I've plugged in a while. What's it called? Nationaltoday.com. We kind of reverted back to what I liked before, where they give me little screenshots, right? Not only is it
Yeah.
easier to read, but a photo with it. But November 8th, this first one, it really made me think of you and me, how we used to do a lot of stupid stuff in school. It's national. It says it's just National Dunce Day, but I feel like it's National Dunce Cap Day. Don your dunce cap and gear up for a fun day of learning. It's funny, like I'll bring that up every now and then as being facetious to teachers. And
Yeah.
A, most of them don't know what the heck I'm talking about. They're like, what? What's a dunce cap? And then B, they're like, that's so mean. I'm like, I'm not really gonna do it. I'm just being an idiot. It's oh
But
my
they
gosh,
don't know what a
Chandler.
dunce cap is? Like how do they not know what a dunce
Well,
cap is?
yeah, I'm closer to being 45 than you are. I mean, some of these people are like, late 20s, early 30s, man. I joked with
Still.
I finally paid my teacher dues this year because now that I didn't have the money, I just kept always forgetting to bring cash. And the
Yeah.
two people on the hospitality committee, I saw one of them yesterday. I was like, hey, do y'all accept cash? Or do y'all accept anything besides cash? And she's like, we take checks. And I was like, do you even know what a check is? Because she's younger than me. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, whatever. But I don't think she did. I think she was just saying
One of those things I don't like, man. One of those things I don't like. I can't stand checks.
it. Should have mentioned that earlier. That would have been great for the song. But nobody writes checks now, right?
Huh?
November 8th is also Cook Something Bold and Pungent Day. Let your adventurous inner chef out and tickle your taste buds with weird and wonderful food. I don't know if you cook anything pungent in your life.
I don't know if I've done anything pungent. I've tried to do some maybe like go for it flavors or something like that that sometimes work out, sometimes don't. But oh, pungent. I don't think I was like eat something that smells bad.
Dude, we had a potluck yesterday at school, and I brought some. Now I've been making this for about 4 years, and my stepmom taught me. It's a pretty easy recipe, but I've always kind of thought it was fruit salad. And so I was this is the first time that all the teachers, like, there was nothing to bring home. Like, somebody, like, they ate it all, right?
It's good.
And they really liked it. And I was bringing it. I went and washed my Tupperware or whatever, right? My tub. And I was walking out with it, and the um, secretary and the AP saw me. They're like, "Oh, that was yours. You made that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then one of the he was like, "Oh, I loved your ambrosia." And I was like, "Is that what it's called?" Like, I thought it was just fruit salad or whatever. So I was like, "I
It's a
learned
good
something."
name. I'm
It's
about to
like
learn something too.
yeah, I mean,
Ambrosia.
it's sour cream, right? Which sounds terrible, right? But you mix sour
Yeah.
cream in with like canned oranges and crushed pineapple. Or what I accidentally did last year, and I like it even better, is canned peaches and crushed pineapple. and they put marshmallows on top, some cherries, and some coconut like sprinkles or whatever. Stir it
It
all
looks like
together, dude.
it looks kind of good, like a dessert almost.
Oh yeah, I mean, me calling it fruit salad makes it sound healthy. It's not healthy at all. It's delicious, and
If-
it's so easy. It's so easy. Even Jandler Bing can make it. You know, like I tell people all the time. I slaved for like 5 to 7 minutes putting this together. You know, and they just laugh at me. But also, last holiday for the day, November 8th, is National Harvey Wallbanger Day. Sit back, relax, and sip on your favorite refreshing alcoholic beverage today. You ever you glance at stuff as you're like kind of scrolling through the internet? I thought it said like National Hangover Day, and I was like, whoa! It's like talk about Choey and Jandler's favorite day, right? What do you think about the
what?
weather, man?
It was cooler. Like I would had I not been teaching last night,
Hmm.
I wouldn't have known it was cooler because I came out of my little RV, like my little like mobile teaching site,
Oh, okay.
and I walked out. I was like, oh dang, it's cold. Like it had just got like the temperature dropped like after the sun went down. I was like, oh shoot. So
You don't think
I wasn't as surprised, but this morning was not. It was definitely crisp. It was nice.
I was gonna say you don't think you'd have figured it out this morning? Yeah, it was Chris. Chris is that's a good word. I like to use it with people here, like because it's not cold, but it's not hot either. But like
Yeah.
right now, it's a cool 70. WTF? The forecast app said beer would make this night a little bit more interesting, just like Joey and Chandler. And a pet
Yeah,
alpaca might
sure.
also help. I guess because it's a little chilly, in the evening. But right,
Like what
all
is it
the
called? A dandans or tantans? The little
tauntauns.
the big old
You talking
hairy
about
thing.
from
There you go. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Star Wars thing
from
when he
Star
cuts
Wars?
open.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like tantans. Hey, real
Well,
quick.
I was like, I don't remember what it was called, but I'm like, you know what I was talking about.
Hey, little drum roll for this next announcement.
Oh, I made
We have a sponsor. We are officially, at least I'm telling people, we are Happy Hour ambassadors, sir. Happy Hour ambassadors. Yeah. Cheers. Corey's like, that's enough. That's enough. Hey, I will tell you this. So, two bits of news. A, I got someone to buy something from us, right?
Sweet.
Off our link. So we've technically earned $3.19. So be sure to share that with the wifey. You just say, hey, a dollar, like $1.59 of that is mine. We'll
Well, I'm
fight
going
for
to
that
cut
half penny.
you do more of the work, man. So you're going to take more of the cut.
All right.
Well, it's like 51.49, right?
Something like that. Yeah. Now here's the shirts that I bought for us. Right here's
Well, let
the
me guess which one I'm getting.
the non UT colored one.
The dad bought one, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
But I will say, so I accidentally bought it, and I say accidentally from the
Yeah.
Choey and Jandler email. So they didn't give Choey and Jandler credit for Choey and Jandler selling it to myself. That makes
No.
sense. So if I had
Return
to
it.
use the other website, once I realized that, I was like, dude, can I stop it, return it, and just reorder it from the other website? I'm just saying, if you ever feel like getting a shirt for yourself and myself, do it through your
This,
non-email.
I'll tell you what, like, I was really impressed. Like, I kind of went on, like, later on that email after you first, we talked about this. They
Yeah,
have
there's a
a
lot of
buttload
funny
of
stuff
stuff on
there,
that
man.
website.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like,
I like
this isn't one of those, like, you know, we got like 3 or 4 things. Like, they got a crap load of things. So I'm like, damn, man, like, I will,
I
like,
wa-
not overly aggressive, but I'm going to spread a little bit of the word. Like, hey, man, you ever, like, I mean, think of all the people, like, I remember when I was in my 20s, I had, like, a beer, it's what's for dinner shirt.
yeah.
They got all sorts of good stuff like that. That people would be like, hey man, you want a gag gift or something like that? Drop
That's
a
what I was
20.
that's what I was texting some teacher friends and even my family. I was like, hey, if you feel like buying a joke gift, cool. Check this website out. If there's something you like, we get a little bit of it and you pay 15%. But no, I like there's I don't know if the teacher shirts, there's some that look kind of cool. Not as funny, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Those dogs and cat shirts, there was some that made me laugh. The beer shirts made me laugh. Even some of those Jesus shirts, or like I was joking with you and you said it was sacrilegious. Like, who's this Jesus guy?
The one
Uh,
I like the touchdown ones.
Oh
The
yeah, the
show me your
touchdown ones are cool.
TDs.
There was another one. There was a cat shirt like that too. It was like, "Show me your kitties," but they
Yeah, so
show
the
me your
youngest,
rhymes with kitties.
the youngest, we went to PetSmart, one of the two pet stores, and he was little, like 3, 4 years old, and so he kind of had a little speech impediment. He would sub in the t sound for k,
Uh huh.
and so I'm carrying him, and we see the kittens, and he wanted to go sit, and he's real loud, and he starts getting because I was like, no, we gotta go over here. We're on a mission. It's like the family's out. We're on a mission. Let's get this stuff and go. He's like, I want to go see the kitties, but with the T instead of the K. I was like, no, buddy, not right now. Let's go. And he yells, I'm carrying him, and he's yelling, I want to go see the, and I'm like, and wife is gone. The other two are gone, like pretending like they don't know me. And so I'm looking like the single dad who's like,
Taking your son to the strip club.
yeah, like throwing, he's throwing a fit because he doesn't get to see the stuff. And I'm like, that's not what he's saying. I promise you. He wants to go see the cats, the real cats. So we're
Yeah,
that way. I'm not, please don't call CPS.
yeah. Well, you could as long as it's the energy company, right?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Tell them your power went up. All right, some more. Oh, hold up. We, did that again. And Choey always laughs. We need an engineer just to hit the sound button to be
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
oh,
dude,
excuse me.
pop this." But here we go to the rest of the
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
headlines. This first thing is something I was going to tell you last week. It just kind of didn't make it because of the time. Yesterday episode. Kids say the darndest things sometimes, right? We
Mhm.
had counselor in. She was doing a lesson like similar to Dare for us, right? Back in the day, but it was kind of like, being healthy, making healthy choices. And near the end, she had a slideshow and it was two photographs, right? And they were trying to guess like A or B. I'm sorry, or one or two. You hold up one finger for picture one, two fingers for picture two, trying to figure out which one was candy, right? And I
Mhm.
think I was planning something and I'm listening at my table and these kids kept getting it wrong. And I started looking up and I was looking at it. And so then I started kind of playing along with them. And I started getting it right. And the kids are looking at me and then they just started holding up the same fingers I was doing. And I got like 7, 8 in a row, correct? And then
Yeah.
one kid just yells out, "Mr. Bing's a pills expert." And I was just like, what? I was like, hold it down, hold it down. I shared it with my teacher, the second grade teachers, and they laughed. And I was like, he could have just said, "Man, Mr. Bing really knows his candy." But no, he had to say it the other way, which makes me sound like I'm doing drugs left and right. But
Somebody's getting called into the thing over it.
I don't know, man. But I was like, I think it's kind of easy. Like if you eat a lot of sweet tarts or Smarties or gummy bears, it's kind of easy to notice what they are. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, kid almost got me in trouble. This one here, number 5 on our little slideshow, happened a while ago. I don't remember when it happened, but this year, actually, it happened a little bit last year too. But this year is a little bit different. We have an authenticator when we log in,
Mhm.
and every
Right.
now and then,
I know
like
what you're talking
every
about. That's the one where he's got to go through the app, right?
yeah, but every now and then there's like an update done, and then like it kind of hurts certain users, and it
Yeah.
just so happens that it's kind of, I don't know if it's because I have a iPhone, but I'm usually one infected. But there's a day that I forget how long it took, man, but I was locked out of my computer, right? So I literally had to teach. Like remember look you were joking last year about how when computers go down, teachers would tell you like, "Oh, I guess I can't teach," but I had to like figure out how to do it, and I was just like, "Stupid Skynet computers." I thought we were friends, man, but so it took a while. There was a point though when I had to call the help desk and explain what was going on. I was trying to get my kids to calm down because it took like 15 minutes.
That
And I was like, "You guys are supposed to read a book."
remember when AT&T, like the cell phone services was down for a while,
Yeah,
like nationwide? We
yeah,
kind
that
of
was
had to sit.
recently, right? Like not that long ago.
Yeah, 6 months. I don't know, somewhere there.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
we probably like 3 months before that hit, we switched like the multi-factor authentication stuff. So we're like, it would send you a text to your phone,
Uh huh.
and every once in a blue moon, it would kick you to like the app, and you had to do the authenticator app. But like a lot of times, it was a text, and I couldn't log into anything because I'm like, I can't get the text because the phones aren't working. So like, I was like, can't do any work, guys. Like, sorry, like all my work is on the computer. Can't do the work because the internet's out. And they're like, ah, well, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I
I
got
don't
nothing.
know. Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know.
there's no workaround.
I can't do anything about it. I can't give it any more power, Captain.
It's funny.
Yeah. Remember Snotty from Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I wanted to say something. That's a little adult. What's Spaceballs?
The a-hole one.
No, the one where like is beaming safe? Remember that one? Where she's like Snotty beamed me twice last night. It felt great.
I like I like the one, and it doesn't have the same effect if you edit it out when he's like, oh, he's like, I said should have crossed her nose, not up it. And then the guy turns around, he's cross-eyed, and he's like, sorry, sir, I'm doing the best I can. And he's like, and then he's like,
I'm
I'm
surrounded
surrounded by
by
a,
a-holes. Yeah.
yeah, and he's like, keep firing, a-holes. And I was like, God, the whole time I'm just like tearing up, like crying, like laughing so much because it was funny.
Me and a friend of mine, Farmer, we showed one of our buddies' son that this we watched that movie God, about 9, 10 years ago, right? And
Yeah,
what is that, like early two but early two teens, whatever 2000 teens type stuff, right?
yeah,
And that movie came out what, like the late 80s, maybe the early
yeah,
90s.
like mid late '80s, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and he's like dying laughing with. He's like, "This movie's funny," and we're like, "Yeah, this is one of those movies that actually stands the test of time, right? It's still pretty hilarious." So,
We the oldest two watched that one and then watched Blazing Saddles also,
oh yeah,
and they were just dying, thinking it was funny as can be. And I'm like, yeah, it is funny. And the best part was the fact that I'm like, yeah, like this came out when I was like a little kid. It's
did
almost
they watch Men in Tights?
they haven't, and I have it on DVD. Like I keep telling them, I'm like, you need to sit down with me one day like on a weekend and watch it. That
That
and
Young Frankenstein or something.
well, the one I was going with it. Have you ever seen the Family Guy Star Wars episodes?
Oh yeah. When they did
Yeah,
like
like the
the
unedited
parody movie.
version. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
don't have
do
seen
y'all
the
got?
unedited.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all gotta watch that. Like, I'm like, that's funny. And I showed them like little clips and stuff like that. And they're like, they think it's funny, and they're like, we need to watch it. And they just never want to sit down with it though.
Okay, so
The
I'm
one
gonna move. I'm sorry. Keep going.
I would say the one clip that I always show them, and I always think it's funny. I'll watch it once just on my phone. Is when he's like when he's like supposed to be like Luke Skywalker, and he sits down with the guy, and the guy's like, I feel like I could take on the whole Empire by myself. He's like, really? That'd be awesome. And he's like, all right.
Yeah,
He's like, Dag's got it by himself, guys. He's gonna do it. And he like flies off. He's like, you really suck
I
some
think
Dag. He's blown up.
I
And
think
it's like,
I remember that. Oh,
oh,
never mind. So I was thinking on the fly, but I'm gonna tell you these last two stories. I think I'm gonna move with maybe the funny student answers, because I try not to keep it too long.
man.
Well, I want to give you another. Here, hold up. We need a. I feel like I need a sound effect for this.
Are you serious right now?
So somebody puked in the classroom, similar to last year, but it was not this guy right here. It was a kid. So apparently, I guess she gets allergies bad. She gets really phlegmy, and it sounds like what the nurse told me is mom gives her like a lot of Mucinex,
Yeah.
and I guess she just spits up clear water. But there was a time like this one day, oh, it was clear liquid, right? But it was just kind of like you hear it, and it's just kind of disgusting. But I think I was washing my hands. I was by the sink, and I got a big shower. I saw I was kind of over there when she just ran over there, and I just kind of just hear and see the stream of water,
Yeah.
clear water coming out, and I was just like, oh, I was like, man, that is nasty.
Yeah.
That is
Is
nasty.
is all this puke that's happened with you? Is it all in, like the same actual classroom? Like I know it's your classroom. Is it the same physical classroom every time? Like you in the
No,
same room
I
all the
moved.
time?
I moved rooms over the summer. I want to be in a
I'm
new
like,
room.
maybe you need to get like an exorcist in that thing. Like maybe there's like a puke demon or something like that. Maybe it's following you around or something. Who
Right?
knows? Because you had a
It's,
lot of
it's
vomit.
got like a monkey on my back type thing, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then this last bit of headlines here before we take our break, sir. All right, so check this out, right? I got this is my 10th year teaching at this school. I get a hamster every year. It's our class pet. At the end of the year, I donate it to a family that like wants it, and I pull out sticks, right, or whatever. But every time I get a new hamster, even when I have it throughout the school year, I'm always reminding kids, we don't pick up the hamster, we don't touch the hamster, right? Leave the hamster alone. And I just learned this year, when you get a hamster, it takes a couple weeks for the hamster to kind of get acclimated to you and be comfortable with you like touching it anyway, right?
Oh, okay.
So one kid, even though we were switching for interventions today, and when you get a class pet, kids kind of they gravitate towards it, right? And so I kept saying, leave the hamster alone. What is one kid was poking the hamster, and then he got bit, right? And then like I gave him a band-aid, and I kind of got, I'll be honest, I kind of got sidetracked to like send him to the nurse because he wasn't like complaining about it, he wasn't like ouch. And then I guess it started bleeding through the band-aid after lunch or something.
Yeah.
And so his teacher, because he wasn't in my class,
That's a
he was just
bad
in my
bite.
interventions. Well, so she sends him to the nurse. The nurse calls me, and she's like, "Hey, did he get bit by a hamster?" And I was like, "Yeah," because he was poking it. He wouldn't leave it alone. And he's like,
Pretty,
and the
pretty
nurse
good.
is like, "That's not what." The nurse is saying. He's saying he didn't do that, and I was like, "Well, I saw him do it," and I kept telling him to stop. And so I even told the teacher today, I was like, if you need to if you need me to let his mom know, because I taught one of her daughters and I coached one of her sons in soccer. So I got a good relationship with her, but I'll tell her the truth. They're like, no, he kept touching the hamster, so he wouldn't listen, But
What-
I guess they have to do like some report, right?
Yeah.
Some bite report, and she's like, somebody may contact you and ask about this hamster, and I'm like, okay. But in my head, I'm just like, I'm kind of frustrated or annoyed because I'm like, if he's not touching it, this isn't a big deal, and it's just I know they want to make sure he doesn't have rabies and stuff, but I was like,
What and like what kind of stupid point? Like, okay, my bad. But what
yeah.
kind of parents are like what do they imagine this hamster does? Then how do they think like he got bit if he's not messing with the dang thing in the first place? Like,
Well,
just the
he was
hamster
saying
like
he just
snuck
had.
out of the cage and was like,
You know what's funny is I said the exact same thing. I was like, what's more likely? He was poking it, got bit, or that the hamster climbed out, bit him, and then climbed back in the cage. And the nurse is like, well, he's saying he had his finger inside, like on the cage itself. And I was like, well, let's still say don't do that, right? That's still not keeping your hands to yourself. But I
yeah,
was just annoyed because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I don't remember the exact part of it, but there was when I was in Illinois, there was a kid. It was kind of like one of those possum families, like because there's some big rodents. I can't remember what it was, but this kid, they were at recess. We were at recess in Illinois. It's springtime. This kid sees an animal. It's not a possum, but it's similar to it, and he's just yanking on its tail. It's huge. Like it's big, like the size of a possum, and so the thing bites him. And then I remember, like we took him to the nurse. It's fifth grade and stuff, but I mean, being the sarcastic person, I was just like, "What were you thinking, man?" I was like, "I'm sure you learned your lesson now." It's like you don't grab random wild animals by the tail and think it's hilarious. They're probably not gonna like it.
yeah. That's like some dumb kid movie that you see in like a TV show or a movie where you're like, what are you doing? Like, there's no way you're really doing that, right? They're like, oh, yeah.
All right. Anyway, anything you want to add before we go to the break? I know you.
Negative Ghost Rider.
I did like your 99 problems, but a beer ain't one or
I'm just
one.
it came to me like 5 minutes before we hopped on. I was like, oh hey.
You're like gold.
We say toast, convey, cheers, man, and cheers made again, or simply cheers. Sometimes it's all tossing, other times it's cheers. Hey, you effing hoser. We also say Sunday salute, saluting, or Tage skull Russia with cheer, nicer of you. And now in Vietnam we can say yo. That's how Choey and Jandler cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world. Different languages, same sentiments, raising our glasses to friendship and joy. Cheers, cheers around the world. Cheers, cheers around the world.
Oi. just takes a minute for that bell there. Sorry about that, sir.
You know what popped in my head right now? Because I
What,
was
sir?
obviously the same music video crap, and I was like, he's always like, that's always what you say. Yes, I know. Remember the Zack Attack from Saved by the Bell when they were like, he like imagined them being like in a band,
Kinda, because they did a lot of things, right? Like,
like the Zack Attack thing from like we could get like all the guest people
oh,
that have been guests on the
the
show, and they could be part of
the backup
like
dancers.
yeah, we could be like the Jack Attack or something like that.
Doesn't that sound bad when you think about it, though?
Okay, well maybe
The jacket.
we'll wax shop. We'll wax
Yeah,
shop that name, right?
yeah.
Instead,
It's not like you said
we'll-
it. We're the whack attack.
instead of workshop, we'll wax shop that a little bit and
Yeah.
make sure that
You know what are my funniest things from The Office, like the American version, is I forget what season it was, but Michael one time said this, and so I say it every now and then. But he's like, "Let's gangbang this thing and go home," right? But if you say it now, like if nobody has watched The Office, they're kind of like, "What are you talking about?" You know? So never mind. But all right, dude, I need you to warm up your vocals there, Joseph.
Yeah, actually, this is the first time in like the 99th episode. This is the first time I actually went through the TripAdvisor, so that way I'm not like
Oh, so
surprised
you're not
when I go.
you're not gonna get caught off guard here.
No, but number 4, by the way, like a little bit
Uh-huh.
trippy. Just saying.
All right, all right, all right. So lead us in.
All
Take
right,
us to
so
Russia.
we're going on a trip to Russia. First things first, smiling. Russians tend to smile from the heart and giving fakes, which are considered language. Russian is actually the 8th most spoken language in the world, with 170 million native speakers and another 130 million speakers in former Soviet republics. Russian Christmas is celebrated on January 7th, and believers often attend a church service at night. Young girls may also try traditional fortune telling to predict who their future husband will be. Which, even though I know I said I wouldn't get sidetracked, that's a little weird too. Just in the fact, like, I don't see how that correlates to Christmas. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's January 7th, man.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, think about that January 7th too. Be like, what? Some Russian girls over here like trying to figure out who she's marrying. Some Russians send cats into new houses before moving in to check if the cat survives. Those cats are said to have 9 lives, and the first person to enter a new house is destined to die.
You think they put the cats on a string or something?
I don't know, but I'm just like, what kind of crap is this? Like, who came up with it? Like, it was like, you know what, you walk in the building, first of all, walk in the building, and you know what, it's like, when
Somebody walked in and had like a heart attack, you know, and they're like, "Oh."
But like, at what point do they find it that the new house is it like at some point during the construction? Is it like once that like it's like turnkey ready and we're like, hey, you good to walk in the house now? It's great. Send the cat in. Like, how does that work? and then if the cat lives, there's gonna be poop or pee somewhere. That's messed up. You got me off on that sidetrack, by the way. I'm just making sure.
I got you. That was my fault. All right.
Russia has 11 time zones ranging from universal. What is UTC, by the way?
Universal time clock.
Okay, ranging from UTC or Universal Time Clock 2 o'clock to UTC 12 o'clock due to its large size and expansion from east to west. Last but not least,
I'm sorry. Go. I'll teach you something afterwards. Go. I'm sorry.
Last but not least, Russia is also home to 10 million more women than men, which I guess is where like that whole like she's trying to predict which one she can get locked down first.
Right.
Since they outnumber the dudes.
When I read that, I was like, that kind of explains more of those Russian brides.
Mail order brides.
Yeah, there's a lot more women than men. No, so here's a little Choey and Jandler teach fact. All right, this is Universal Time Clock. It's actually plus 200, right? Plus 200. So it's military time, right? Universal time is in England. It's like Greenwich, England. So that's like when it's midnight there, it's 0 o'clock, right? So they're saying it's 2 hours ahead of England to 12 hours ahead of England, right? So they're basically, that's why they got all those time zones. You used to have to
Well,
know that. I've told teachers before, I was like, I know it'd be weird, but if we taught military time in school, it'd be a lot easier than teaching AM PM. I tell you that, because you just be
you
like,
would
oh, it's 1400. It's
you
afternoon.
wouldn't get confused with what time it is. Like, oh, is that 3 in the morning? Is that 3 at like
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing you do have to adjust to is you're like, oh, it's 1500. What does that mean? Oh, 15 minus 12, 3 o'clock. Like that would be like so. Just like if we went to the metric system, which I still think we should do, it would be tough. But if you're on the for us, because we're used to the standard, like, but if
are,
you're just
are,
like, hey, milliliters to liters, that's not a
are
big
you some
deal.
sort of Nazi spy? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Trying to make life easier for people is what I'm trying to do.
Well, the one thing that trips me out, so like, I mean, measurements it'll be harder for older people to transition over since we're like, we're in like, I mean, we talk about pounds and all this,
Yeah,
and all this stuff, right?
yeah,
But then, like, we have measurements like that, like when you look, like, so like a water bottle
uh
is
huh.
16.9 ounces. It's like half a liter water bottle. Why?
Why is
Why
it
do we
half a
do
liter?
that?
Is that what you're
But
saying?
why do
Or
we make
why?
like why don't we make a 16-ounce water bottle or a 12-ounce water bottle? Why is it gonna be 16.9 ounces? Like, what's the
You
point in
think
that? Is that so we can
you
sell it
think
to somebody else across the way? Like that?
Do you think they made it half a liter and then just like how many ounces is that? So those Americans know what this means?
Well, but I mean, some of these things are like bottled here.
Oh yeah,
But then you look at it like so, like a water bottle is 16.9 ounces, right, or whatever.
yeah,
How many watt? Like, but we don't have 3 liter water. We don't have 3 liter like jugs and stuff. We have like gallon jugs, right? So it's like 3 point whatever 7. Then you have like the Cokes. You think about Cokes, they're sold in 2 liters and 3 liters.
yeah. I was gonna ask, are they still 3 liters? Because I know they were back in the day. I feel like I just see a lot
Yeah.
of 2 liter.
And so you see what I'm saying? It's like what we even like we're not even we're just like it's like Nate Bargatze thing as funny as that skit is.
Yeah, I was about to say, how many
It's just
liters are in a
true.
gallon?
Yeah.
Nobody
And
knows.
it's like well you get a gallon of milk or a gallon of water, but you don't get a gallon of soda. You get like a 2 liter or 3 liter bottle of soda. It's like well wait. But then we sell the cans of soda, and the bottles are 12 ounces and 20 ounces.
Yeah, unless you
It
get
makes
those baby
no,
cans that I get
then
every now
there's
and then because I'm not paying
then there's
attention.
those 7, which is that makes no sense either.
Seven
7, so
point
it's like
five
over
ounces.
one.
Yeah, it's
Like
just like what?
no, yeah, it's like wait a second, that don't make no sense.
I don't know, man. No rhyme or reason, right? That's why we
I don't
can.
know.
That's why that's President Washington's dream, man. Dream, do whatever
Yeah,
we want.
keep us guessing all the like daylight savings time. Like, what's the point of that? Like, oh, well,
I,
it's to get more. No, you don't get more time. 5:30 it starts. What the heck?
I like the. I don't even remember exactly how I did it, but when they were talking about the coins, he's like, "I want Europeans to come here and just complain about how we do things in America. Why you got to be like this?" So, like I said, I'm gonna save that other bit for one of the next episodes. Do you know? Hey, I do want to ask you this: how many? Because next episode when we do the 100th, we're gonna do our
Hmm.
stuff, but at the same time, I'm gonna have you play Oregon Trail on the side, right? And every now and then, like you'll let us know what happened, right? How many
A lot of
people?
stress. A lot of stress there, man.
Well, you can't play and talk and say
No,
like,
I
"Hey,
saw that. It's like, what if I mean, I'm managing lives here.
yeah," and
I'm
it's I
like, what if
want
they
to be.
die?
We're taking like, well, dude, I've never played Oregon Trail enough to know. I don't think I've ever made it where someone didn't die. Someone's gonna die. The question is gonna be like, who's first?
Which is morbid when you think about it, because when we first got introduced, we were like, I was like second grade. So you're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
7 years old, and you're like, hey, Billy died of a broken arm or whatever. I was gonna say
yeah.
syphilis, but they know that was syphilis, like smallpox. And you're like, oh, so and so died. You think it's funny, and then it's like, wait a second, are they drowned when you cross the river? And you're just like, what?
But how many people go on the trail with you? Do you remember?
I think it's 5. I think no,
Five
I think
total,
it's 5 total. I think it's you
and
and then
four of
4.
us. Okay, okay. Because I put 5 names on there, and I was like, do I need to get a sixth with our guests and stuff? But all right, dude, I'll hit the I'm sorry, the social media. By the way, I learned something again this week, which makes sense, right? Not only is their Instagram hacked, but I got a little time tomorrow because I got an appointment in the morning. I may be able to try and contact, but I gotta do some other stuff. But because the Instagram's hacked, our threads is also hacked, man. We can't get access either one of those two.
No.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, you could follow us at Choey, Choey, letter N Jan, so Choey and Jan. We can check YouTube, X, TikTok, and Facebook. We'll get the Instagram threads fixed somehow. It'd be nice to get it fixed. I tried to email somebody and they clearly haven't got back to me. So I guess you can't respond to them that way. They're like, no, you must call and be on hold for 2 hours before we even think about assisting you. And I'm like,
They're like, we're just gonna put you on queue. Nobody answers the phone ever.
yeah, you little. All right, man, you want to pull the plug on this?
Let's pull it.
All right.